If you want to try and
You can sit down now.
Tell me the secret, I know.
We're seeing.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm talking to Jay
Jay.
Kroll from Cision. I don't know. Yeah, we know me. Okay, so we're looking at CisionPoint today.
So, Joanna was just asking about wrestling, and what I did was I just did a quick text search for journalists in our media database who cover wrestling, or at least that we've written in their profile.
And that is
they
so
do.
what I need. Because when I was asked what I can do to help this guy, I said, one of the things we need to do is find the influencers around wrestling.
There you
the
go.
type that this guy does. Once we find them,
Here's
start
Charlie
connecting with them.
O.
So
Charlie
there's a couple
O.
ways you
All
can go
right.
at that.
Okay. Charlie
You can
O.
go into our media database and
That's
look
your
at
name,
profiles
Charlie
that
O.
we've written
Yes.
for people we know who cover
Like, yes,
wrestling.
Charlie
so that's
O.
some of what you're looking at here. And just to kind of give you an example, I mean, I don't know which ones of these are going to be built out, but you can see there's a blog in here called The Steel Cage, right? So that might be something that would be of use. And we can go ahead and drill into that blogger's profile. And depending on how much we've talked to that individual blogger, you may have paragraphs of information, pitching information from that person. Like, for example, I could show you one for, let's say, David Pogue at the New York Times. It's a little bit more built out. But, you know, you've got contact information here. You've got information about the topics the person covers, geographically where they're based. And then one that would be a little bit more built out for a top national media influencer would be, you know, you've got paragraphs
at
of
that.
pitching tips about David Pogue and how to build a relationship.
Well, that
with
would have
him.
been good for Krugman in
It'll be
your
great
interview.
for- yeah,
Right?
we interviewed Krugman. I knew Paul Krugman.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
one of our clients was the New York Press Club and
Very
did
cool.
journalism conference, so we did New York Times and Paul Krugman. This is great.
That's great. So we stream his tweets right in here on the page. You can check those out. And then, you know, we've got all of his contact information. You can click out here and do a Google byline search for him if you want, and see what he's written about lately. So that's kind of the media database side on a contact level. If we wanted to go in, and going back to the wrestling example, I think one thing that more of our clients are doing is they are starting with a topic and looking for articles and then working backwards to the influencers, as opposed to saying, find the influencers who you have determined are covering this topic. So I might go in here and see in our news archive who's writing about wrestling.
Sure.
If I spelled that right, with typing with one finger. And basically I'm searching here a 90-day archive of print, web, social media, and broadcast content for the term wrestling, and I'm coming up with 117,000 mentions, which of course none of us want to read all of. So what I'm going to do instead is facet this data on the fly by contact and see who has written about wrestling the most. And then, so what I've got here is some byline matching going on, so that then I can start to build my influencer list from here and go back to the media database and research some of these people.
Well, let me ask you a question.
So who has written about wrestling the most?
Well,
Okay.
I mean, you're looking at them right here. You've got Mike Johnson.
This
I'm
is
not
how-
familiar with some of these people.
And how-
I'm not a huge wrestling fan myself.
Well, I mean-
But, you know, and of course we'll identify the news services and news wires that are talking about it as well.
Okay, so I do social media press releases, right, which are very effective, I have to tell you. Like that's, for example, the Biz Bash event, that was one of the 4 top tweeted links was the press release that we did.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it rocks. And so my question is how would I, you know, because I want to build the media contacts for a particular event, how would I take that press release and take this information and say the top 50 journalists or the top 100 journalists and easily distribute that press release to this list?
Sure, there's a couple different things
Is
you
there
can
a way
do.
to link
If
and then do
you use your own email service provider,
Right.
you can export the data in Excel. But
Oh,
what
wow.
more and more of our clients are doing is they're going into our Connect module, and right here, what you can do is create a distribution by email directly to those people.
Wow.
That's totally CAN-SPAM compliant, where we manage the opt-outs on your behalf.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because that was going to be my next question. How
Yeah.
do you do that without, you know, skinny
Yeah,
off the
you don't
scamming.
want to get.
Absolutely. And so, of course, when clients do export data to work with themselves, they take on that responsibility. But you can also distribute directly to our wire service.
I'm
and,
sorry, I've been kind of
we
busy,
also
but
publish to about 3,500 websites that syndicate press releases.
Wow.
Okay.
Kind of like
Well, I know
Yahoo
we have
Finance
great,
and
but that
that
never
kind of thing,
happened.
or Market Watch, and that kind of stuff.
Do you have a way yet of
Another
distributing to the Twitter
It'll happen.
directly
It's just-
to the? I know that it's not easy, obviously, but
Whatever.
Twitter is kind of dropping that you need to follow
Oh,
someone
okay.
in order to be
Okay, that's not good.
and I think in a month or two they're gonna make it so that you don't have to be following a person in order to get a DM to them or get.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You can push to Twitter through this as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well,
And
that's.
then we also do
tough.
some charting in here as well. So if you wanted to have a look at kind of your media coverage and how it's mixed, I'll just kind of create this as an example. I might want to go into the content I have set up in this dashboard and say digital cameras. I want to see what our media mix is.
Well, I'm
on
going to be
digital
pretty
cameras.
busy, and I don't know that tonight's a good night.
We're monitoring across all different media types.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
good.
For mentions
Well, I don't know
of
how long.
digital
It'll be
camera
about another
brands
half
in this
an hour.
example,
Is that all right?
and including print, internet, broadcast, and social media. And so then you just kind of get a
Okay,
quick
sure. No,
breakdown here of a lot of the coverage.
I just want to see what is
coming.
it. Oh, this is the bar.
So yeah, what you're just looking at here is a breakdown by media mix, media type.
Okay.
Of coverage of a group of digital camera brands that we define.
Okay.
So what we're seeing here is a lot of newspaper coverage, or a lot of blog coverage, excuse me, a little bit of news service coverage like your AP and Reuters type of stuff, and then some news websites. And what's kind of nice too is you can just drill right in here and see there are 28,000 blog posts being represented, and you can just go ahead and have a look at those by clicking right here.
See, this is the stuff. Is this one of the things we should talk about on the webinar?
Maybe. I mean, it depends what direction you want to take it.
Yeah, we're doing a webinar on the 16th.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, it's 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central.
Yes.
It's a free webinar. We'll send you the
A
invite.
webinar on the 16th.
So now I have
with
the full text of those 28,000
Yes,
blog
okay.
posts, and I can start to filter
Oh, the
that.
full text
Yes.
of the blog post?
Absolutely.
Get out.
And then I can start to filter that. So we actually also stream compete.com data in here.
Really?
Yeah. So what you could do is say, I don't want to read all 28,000 blog posts about digital cameras. Show me, according to
Oh, that's sweet.
Compete UV figure, which ones had the most mind share or share of voice,
Wow.
and sort them that way.
And you're just unique visitors?
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're streaming Radiant 6 content in here,
Can we see some of the Radiant 6
Yeah,
on this
sure,
one?
absolutely.
Let's see what
So-
that looks like.
what I would do there is go back to my coverage page and see if I can find some hits in this particular account.
Have been trying to. I wasn't very impressed with their platform.
Which one?
One of their competitors, their biggest competitor.
Oh, it's probably Factiva.
So
No.
one thing you'll notice here is you can't sort by the Radiant 6 engagement metrics, and the reason for that is every time you load this page, we call fresh metrics from them on the fly.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to make sure that you're seeing the most accurate counts up to date.
Okay.
You're always aggregating more comments
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
links and votes and whatnot. So you can actually drill into one of these items and have a look at whatever. I mean, the metrics aren't too strong on that particular one, but
Well, just sit around. You should look. Okay. Okay.
if it's a print article, we can have, depending on what kind of service you have, we can have a PDF image of the article if we scanned it in for you, or we also stream in LexisNexis content if you prefer an electronic print feed as well. So.
So what's this here? This $14 USD, is that publicity?
That's a publicity value.
Oh, is that the thing that they were displaying?
Skewering equivalent advertising value today. I can't remember. Somebody.
Katie, she always does.
It was. That's right.
Of course she does. That's her arch enemy. Katie does that.
At the same time, we hear a lot of demand for tell me what.
So
this
does Glide.
equivalent
Glide
some
says
kind of-
Glide says that too. That they put it in there because people want it.
one
And I have a very nice visualization, by the way. Glide has a very nice visualization of that funnel. They really. I mean, you guys should talk. You and
Yeah.
Glide should definitely talk as well.
So, we're trying to take more things into account with the publicity value and look at some of these engagement metrics now.
You
Is
can't
something
get
that
any
we're
Facebook
working
ads
on.
on, can you?